I am super honored that people are taking the knowledge I share here on YouTube and build cool apps with it. Just a couple days ago, someone tweeted at me with a project they built inspired by a video I did like 6 months ago. It makes me super proud to see. And this project is so good, I just had to share it here on YouTube with you. Let's see what it is, how it works, and what you can learn from it. And this right here is what you see once you reach the actual website. As you can see, it's really well done. And if you're familiar with Shadcl and UI, you can immediately tell, okay, it was built with this certain UI library. You can switch between light and dark mode, which is pretty neat. And the core functionality is right here in the middle. It's called Scribble. Draw on the same canvas with your friends in real time. We can give ourselves a name, and then the room ID will automatically be generated for us, and we can click create a room or join a room. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Let's click create a room. It's gonna load, and then we can draw on the canvas right here. We can undo our actions right here. We can draw anything we want. We can clear the entire canvas if we want to. We can write on here, and this will be synchronized with other clients. We can change the stroke width, the dash gap if we wanted to. I'm not too sure what this does, to be honest. I think it looks a bit worse. I'm not too sure what the dash gap does, and we can see, very important, all the members that are currently connected to this room, because multiple members can connect to a room right here on the right hand side. So for me, it's just name, and when I leave this room, we get navigated back to the homepage. And how this works is really interesting, because there's something really clever about how this works. So normally when we have a room, imagine it like this. We have multiple clients, client 1, client 2, and client 3, connected via WebSockets for real-time communication to the server. And once you join the room, there's going to be a new client. Let's make this blue right here, that enters hello. Give me the data, because when these people draw on the canvas, you want to get the current data, the actual fresh canvas, once you reach the server as well. But the very clever solution I'm talking about is this data does not come from the server. This doesn't happen, because that would imply we need to keep track of the canvas data, which is very hard to keep track of in a database. And unless you have to, I would really avoid that, because check this out. When we draw on the canvas right here, you can see what's being sent in the WebSockets right here on the right hand side. Let me make that a bit larger so you can see this easier. And apparently I can't make this larger. What the hell? Anyways, I'm just gonna move my face cam to the left side. You can see there are a lot of messages. The scroll bar is rapidly increasing. Let me clear that. Just take a look. I'm gonna draw one line. Bam. That's like about 100 messages that were just sent. There's no throttling, there's no debouncing, or maybe a little bit, but storing all of this in a database like SQL or Postgres or even MongoDB would be one hell of a nightmare. So keeping track of the canvas state like that would not be a good idea. So instead what we're doing, which I think is really clever, when a client enters into this architecture, then the state of the canvas is not gotten from the server, but instead it is gotten from the other clients. So the server is, so the client connects, right? Then the server knows, okay, this client just connected, and sends out a prompt to the client, to anyone or to all of them, it doesn't matter. That goes like, hey, give this person that just entered the current canvas state that you have in memory, because in the clients, these are just kept in state, like in Zustand, for example, or in Redux or in Recoil, whatever you want to use. This app uses Zustand. And then after the server lets the client know, hey, send this new guy this state, that client immediately sends the canvas state right over without having to store the data inside of the server. And what that also means is once everyone disconnects from a room, for example, these are connected in the same room right now. Let's clear the canvas. This looks ugly as hell. When everybody leaves the room, this also means, because the data is not persisted and all state is gone, that the room essentially has lost all its data. For many use cases, however, that's not a problem at all. And you can see in the WebSockets right here, when I draw on this screen, then a bunch of messages are sent out. That's why they're green, because we're emitting them from this client I'm in, and then they are received on the other client. And it seems like, let's demonstrate that. Let me remove the room. Let's reconnect. Let's click join a room, enter any username and the room ID that this left client is on. Let's click join, and we can see the state is right here. And right here, send canvas state was triggered. So we are sending over, as imagine we are this client right here. And this guy is the new client that just joined. We are sending the canvas state to the server as a data image PNG base64, sending that state over, and we can even take a look at the payload right here. This is the payload. It's a base64 encoded. That's about 21.7 kilobytes. Sending that over, that we're now populating the canvas with on the new client. And we can see the WebSockets connection that was just established right here. And then we can see room joined, client ready, and then canvas state from server. This is what we have sent over from the left-hand side client to the right-hand side client. And that's where we receive the state and populate the canvas with. We get it as base64, and that's what we put into the canvas. That's this smiley right here. Now, obviously, that doesn't work with Next.js, except you use external tools like Pusher to handle the WebSockets infrastructure for you, because in serverless environments like Next.js, this just doesn't work. And that's why I think it's really refreshing. This doesn't work with Next.js. Well, it still does, but only on the client side. To be honest, I don't fully see the point of Next.js here. You could just use regular plain React. I think that would be a bit, Next.js is not inappropriate at all for this case. I just don't see the extra value because Next.js is mostly for full stack stuff. And if we go into the components and then the dashboard, the drawing canvas, that's what I mean right here, you can see all the events that I was just talking about. So for example, let's zoom. Actually, I'm not going to zoom out. That might be a bit hard for you to see, but we can see the canvas element right here. And then we are emitting a client ready once we're ready inside of a use effect. So this is purely client side. And then we are getting the canvas state. This is what this looks like, a socket.on get canvas state. And once the server tells this client to get the canvas state, we are emitting the canvas state over to the server. So this is what the server sends out, and this is what we're sending back to the server to give to the other clients once they join into our room. And then for the other client that just joined, this is the relevant part, the canvas state from server. And why does this look so bad? Let's get rid of this. This right here is the important stuff. The canvas state from server. So once we get the data from the server on the client that just joined, we are populating the canvas with it right here. And then as for the server side, let's go over there into the server directory. We can see in the source and then the server.ts how this works. We're using socket.io. I generally recommend using socket.io. I think it's a great idea and it's way easier to use than the regular just plain WebSockets API. And the infrastructure on the server itself is not really complicated. So the complicated thing will be horizontally scaling WebSockets, because then you need a load balancer and sticky sessions and whatnot. But just for this simple one Express server that is hosted on Railway, by the way, a really cool place to host your Express servers. I generally like it. I'm not sponsored. I just think it's great and better than Heroku. They do limit the packages that you are allowed to deploy on Railway, especially when you get to like FFmpeg stuff and that kind of stuff, because many people do bots with that, which Railway wants to discourage, but it's a great place to deploy. And then we can see all the functions like the join room function and whatnot, leave room, and then the main stuff is right here, the io.on connection. Once we connect to the server via a WebSockets connection, and there is a handshake, a 101 switching protocols, and then we're connected via WebSockets. And then we can trigger events like creating a room, joining a room, emitting a room not found if there is a 404. And especially this is just kind of like a REST API, just the syntax in which we're sending back events is different and how we're receiving them obviously is very different as well. And then on the client ready, these are all the events that we just saw on the client side that we had inside of the use effect. So we're listening to the same stuff, of course, so that once we send it out from the server, we are actually listening to them on the clients. And this is what I recommend you take a look at, the server infrastructure, the client infrastructure, and how they communicate with each other. I think it's really interesting. It's solved very cleverly, and it was inspired by a video I did like half a year ago when I was more in WebSockets. I think it's something really, really cool to take a look at. Especially this right here, when the client joins, the server prompts another client to send over the canvas state. It's solved very clever. I recommend you learn it and maybe recreate it yourself. I mean, the code is all here. You can try for yourself, and if you fail at any point, just reference the code right here and maybe even expand on this. I mean, the functionality for this website is pretty basic, but nonetheless really, really impressive. What you could do is implement like a game mode where you have a certain time, 30 seconds, one person draws something and the other people have to guess what it is, all via WebSockets, and you deploy it on Railway. That would be such an amazing portfolio project. Kind of like scribble.io. It's essentially the same thing. You would be recreating it. A lot of the work is already done for you. try to recreate it and expand on this, because that is probably the absolute best way to learn. I hope you like the project as much as I do. I think the creator has done such an amazing job at building this, taking the knowledge from YouTube, applying it to your own projects. That's the absolute best thing you can do. Take it, learn from it, and I wish you all the best in your app building process. That's gonna be it for me for this video. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have a good one and bye bye.